Name 3 players on the roster for the Cincinnati Reds 1990 World Series team.
Chris Sabo, Barry Locker, Bob Dibble. Got it.
You're good.
That's a robot.
Can anyone guess Jimmy Somerville from Bronski Beat? His height. You gotta raise your hand. Oh, you're close. You're close. On average, how many nights per month in the summertime did Dom spend the night at Jim Bob's? Raise your hand if you know the answer, or we'll take a guess.
All of them.
Pretty much, huh? Want to take a guess, this table? Wait, where? Raise your hand. 20 is correct. This table is next. Can anyone name the Fab Five for the Cincinnati Bengals? No?
Burrow, Chase.
Hold on. What do we got over there? The Fab Five.
Hey,
for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Boomer, Icky.
It's a trick question. The Bengals don't have 5 fabulous players.
Name one.
Joe Burrow.
There you go. This table's next.
Yo.
Oh boy, Tim.
I gotta see who knows this answer. If you know the answer, raise your hand. What is Jason? I'm not even looking this way. No way. What is Jason's favorite color?
Mauve.
Black.
You said it? Black.
That's all you
2, 3.
I want to thank everyone for coming. I want to thank my mom.
My mom and Carrie for doing absolutely nothing. You'll get nothing and eat it. And just want to thank everyone. Seriously, it means a lot for all of you to be here to enjoy this holiday. 50 years goes pretty fast, and
Tell me about
I'm fortunate to have all of you in my life, one way or another. You've all been great people, you know, throughout and so forth. And I just want to say thank you again, and thanks for coming because it really does mean a lot. I know I don't show my emotion, but I'm not there yet. So takes a couple more tall ones. I'm not singing. Okay. I'm not karaoke. I'm trying to think. I can do the 2 options. Tiptoe Through the Tulips by Tiny Taylor. Jesus Loves Me by Elder Humperdinck. Or, Menudo's Greatest Hits. I'm not singing, but thank you. I would do James Ingram just once, but I'm a little hoarse right now, so.
Oh, sing.
Thank you again. No arms wide open. That will happen another time with just friends. So, I know. There's a lot of passion in here.
Nickelback.
A lot of passion.
Come on! Jay! Hey, Jay, get over here. Sit there. Hello, ring, ring, ring. Is Jay around? No, y'all playing. Click.
Uh-oh, is Jeff getting creepy?
He's been trying. He's been.
Alone, let me know. So, obviously, Jay being a character, I'm going to take us back to 2008 when the Dogs won the national championship. So we are playing ASU at ASU, and I'm quiet. And I'm with my roommate at the time, Danny Grubb, who's our catcher. And it's the time of the draft. It's like day 1 or day 2 of the draft. And we get back to our hotel after we won the second game. And I text Jason, I was like, hey, you gotta call my roommate and act like you're a scout and draft him. And he's like, done. What's the number? So I text him the number. Within 30 seconds, Danny's phone rings. I think we're in actually I take it back, we're in the 20th round now. We're in the later rounds. So Grubb answers the phone. And here's basically how the conversation went. Jason said he was one of the mediocre scouts for the Orioles. Not even top, just mediocre. And he's not part of the United States scouting, he's part of the global scouting for the Orioles, which you'll understand in a second. So he gets Danny on the line and says, look, Danny, we know you're a junior, you're a catcher. We have interest in you, but it's going to be uncomfortable. And Danny's like, hold on, puts it on speaker for me to hear. And I'm like, well, who is it? He's like, some whack job with the Orioles that says I'm going to be uncomfortable. So he puts it on speaker, and then Danny's like, hey, tell me more. So Jason's like, look, we are interested in drafting you. There's going to be a few conditions. Number 1, we're going to draft you for, I don't know, I think he said $37 we're going to give you for your signing bonus. What we are going to cover is your plane flight to Africa. Because we want you to come play in Africa where we have an Orioles-based team that does not get along with the natives. So he said, basically what would happen is you would get on a flight the day after Omaha. You would fly to Africa where you're not liked by the locals. You would get off the plane, hope you're not caught with a dart, get into the shuttle and head to the field where you would immediately strap up and catch 18 innings. For the next 3 months, you would catch 2 doubleheaders a day. It's 113 degrees. At night, you would sleep in a net. You have 97% chance of catching malaria and dying. For whatever reason, Grubb's still on the call. He said, look, it's hard to explain. You guys aren't liked by the locals. Good chance you might not see the family again. And do you have interest? And Grubb says, I need to talk to my parents first. And Jason says, I'll give you 15 minutes. He says, okay, can I call you back? No, I'll stay on the line. So Grubb's excited, he calls his parents, and if you can imagine this 22-year-old trying to explain to his parents he's got an opportunity to go play in Africa, catch double headers in 113 degrees and catch malaria. Do you guys support me? Both of them shut that down real quick. So anyways, that's what I remember.
Okay, so when I got hired at Parker, probably, I don't know, this is 2004, there was Jason, John Cleveland, and a couple guys that were probably, I don't know, in their early 30s, and everyone else was 50 plus. So I'm like, I'm gonna try to hang out with these guys. So Jim's like, hey, I want you guys to go down south and we're gonna do there's some training of some sort. So that night I happened to get sick. I had the worst sinus infection. So I'm complaining to Jay and these guys. I'm like, just keep drinking whiskey, you're fine. Everything will be fine. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to bed. So I go to bed and the guys next door to me were having a party all night long. So of course I get up in the morning and they say, you feeling better? I'm like, these guys were partying all night long. So I'm complaining, not thinking anything of it. This is where the story gets good. So about 2 weeks go by. I don't think I've ever told you this, Jim, but I just started out and I get a phone call and it's, hey, is this Rob with James Parker Insurance? I'm like, yeah. This is Mitch at the Ramada down in Pasadena. Mitch? Oh, yeah. Did you stay in room 402 2.5 weeks ago for 2 nights? I couldn't remember what room I was in. I'm like, yeah, sure. He's like, how much time do you have? And I said, I have plenty of time. He said, well, we need to talk. And I said, about what? Well, we had several noise complaints. No, that was the guys next door. But I'm thinking of it, I don't tell him. And then he goes in and he says, do you own an animal? And I'm like, yeah, I have a dog. He's like, okay. He's like, well, there was feces everywhere. Walls, carpet, lamps knocked over, carpet ripped up, vomit on the floor. You need to come in and pay this bill. I'm thinking, what? I'm like, no, it's the guys next door that had a party all night. He's like, no, Mr. Pierce, you need to come in and pay this bill. He said, I have one more question for you. Were you in the jacuzzi last night? And I said, no, I was sick in bed. He's like, we have a camera out there and there was some indecent activity going on. We have your face on camera. I need you to come in and pay this bill. We're gonna have a talk with James G. Parker Insurance. And then it started clicking because I've heard stories that Jason's done to people, pranking them. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna have my boss, Jim Parker, give you a call back. And it was a quick click, and he denied it. And this is just one, I mean, not to take too much time, but I was using the restroom at work in stall number 2. You know, that was the safe stall where, you know, like, hey, don't mess with anyone. It's not because I sit down and pee, but I was in there. You know, it just, at Parker, sometimes it could be a stressful job. That's my place where I could relax. And all of a sudden, just, you know, normal day on a Wednesday, a full trash can comes over, almost breaks my neck, and I was like, do I file a workers' comp claim? And then possibly I could have a year off, and I'm like, no, that's not good. So naturally I go, okay, that's Jason. So I go back to Jason. I'm like, yeah, Jason, do you throw a trash can on me? He's like, typically, I swear to God on the Holy Bible it wasn't me. And I said, okay. He said, I will give you $500 if you can prove it was me. So what Jason doesn't know, because he could barely turn the computer on, is we have cameras at this time in the office. So I go to Brandon Feemster, and I'm like, hey Brandon, can you pull those cameras up? Because Jason said, no problem. So we look at the camera, and where's Lewis? I'm still gonna get it back. So you see Lewis we work with. He's on lookout, looking down the hallway, making sure no one's coming. All you see is a blur of black. Naturally, that's all he wears. No underwear, all black. Runs out, glasses, can you hear me now? Picture, we take a picture. Jason, $500, that's you. That's not me. I said, all black and glasses, no one else pulls that off, you know, except you and Clint Black. And he's like, nope, that's not me. So to this day, he hasn't paid me. But I mean, there's so many, he's lit smoke bombs off in my office. It was like World War II, where you go into your office and you can't see anything. And at the time, my CSR said that the smoke went through the HVAC system and shot her in the eye and she couldn't see, so she had to go to the doctor. So he calls me at night, he's like, hey, is everything okay? I'm like, hey, Jim's really upset. She's gonna file a workers' comp claim, but it's getting deeper. He's like, what's going on? I said, she's gonna lose a left eye and possibly will join the band TLC. And so I had him going for a long time because that eye was shut and he thought his jaw was on. I said, please, hey, please, just don't say anything to Jim, man. Don't say anything to Jim. You know, I was just being funny, and I said, I'm just playing with you. But his blood pressure, well, it's high now, but back then it was probably pretty high too. So anyway, that's all I got. Who's next? But I love you, Jay.
He's a special guy, tremendous guy. He joined our family when he was about 14 years old, and he had a huge influence. My kids learned to be tough with Jay at the dinner table because somebody got a target on their back about halfway through dinner, and about before the end of the night, somebody left the table crying, you know. And so Jay taught him to be tough, to have a quick sense of humor, and he's a great guy. And we love you, Jay.
I'm the eldest. I changed Jason's diapers. I was his second mother, actually. So, where do you start with Jason, right? So the story that comes to mind first out of 500 would be, I had Jenna, my firstborn, and she was 7 months old, and my dad got invited to go back to Cincinnati for an old-timers game. And so Mitch and I and Jenna at 7 months got on the plane and flew back to Cincinnati with my dad. And we stayed with, I believe we stayed with Uncle Louie. I'm not positive, but my dad had this great.
I have a couple stories of Jay. I'll make them quick. First of all, I'm very surprised that when he had the mic, he didn't go right into with arms wide open. We were waiting for it. But the first memory that comes to mind was my senior graduation party, and I had all my buddies come over, and they met everybody in the family. And you know, my buddy Roman comes in, he's meeting everybody, and the last person that he has to meet was Jason. So I was like, bro, this is my Uncle Jason, and Jason goes up to him, and Roman like stood there like, and Jay goes, no, I'm just kidding, what's up, I'm Jason. And to this day, Roman's like, dude, what just happened right now? But that was just one. I don't remember all the other interactions from all my other buddies. But the second thing that I can remember was Jay. Jay's a very thoughtful guy, and he's a gift giver. And we couldn't wait to get Uncle Jay's presents at Christmas. And I remember, I forget what it was. I don't know if it was Christmas, what it was, but we were all excited to open Jay's gifts. And we go to open every one of Jay's gifts. It was me, Jordy, Jenna, and Jace. Jordan and I got old sweaters. And then JC, I think Jace, what'd you get? Old clip-on earrings. Like he went into his closet and found the ugliest things that he could find and wrapped them to get our reaction. And we were just like, thank you, Jason. He's sitting laughing the whole time as we're opening gifts. And and I just remember he brings out, he's like, oh no, those aren't your gifts, I'm just kidding. So, Jay, it's an honor to be your nephew. I get to see you on TikTok, which is one of my favorite accounts to follow, is Uncle Jason on TikTok. If you have a TikTok, I get to see, and I don't get to witness it. I'll see Jay at GB3 every once in a while, but on his TikTok, he goes in the sauna or the steam room and he yells at the people swimming or the people outside, get out of the pool! Get out! The last video I saw, he said, get out! And the guy outside. So, Uncle Jay, I love you, we love you, and Thanks, guys. Love you.
You get sprung.